Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Waya Shamaka, Waya Shamaka, Yahweh, 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 Panyawa Al Yak, Panyawa Al Yak, Waya Khanka, Waya Khanka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yasha'a Yahweh, Yasha'a Yahweh, Panyawa Al Yak, Panyawa Al Yak, Waya Sham, Waya Sham, Laka Shalom, Laka Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yasha Allah, Yasha Allah. Ya Baraka, Ya
Hey, I'm ready for you.
Yogic.
Spiritual memory testifies to the legacy. Exit the boat with heritage, now we divide in heresy. Trying to reimagine the structure like doing puzzles without a picture to go by. Generations of blow by. Now we trying to forge us a culture within the midst of this. So don't be too confounded when some of our efforts missing it. Is it impossible to these spiritual obstacles like chains on your spirit? If you listen, you hear it. We can make a striped suit to the new fashion. What if that power landed within the right hands? Made it cool to be illiterate. Proving that we niggerish when who you see are fools are just the chosen seed regenerate. Breaking through the concrete, bringing light to our pain. Our maladies are our public, our efforts can't be sustained. It's like a stigmatism, we don't see reality. We look up to celebrities, forget our principality. Oh.
Yogic.
Israel study night and day just to cut each other. If only we could see to love each other. When the last time you thought to hug instead of mean mug a brother, or even pray the Father never cease to love the brother. Damn, the people nodding on my blood fam. We all washed by the sun lamb. He was led to the slaughter like a dumb lamb. He didn't bother, knew the Father had some plan. We see the news nightly, singing blues, channel 2. Keep our people in the snooze, and the noose is far too likely. From the place that make you think of light blue Nikes. Smashing on these blue devils, we the battle axes. Thunder pounding, knock Haaretz off his slanted axes. Now we finally upright, walking righteous practice. From Rashid to Hazon, that's living lyrics. Water for the living spirit. Scour the globe for compositions that tell a story. Write a novel just to share his glory. Over audio, this division of Obadiah, Joel, Malachi, and Zechariah. We desire to Kayam higher by the Most High to gather fruit from the yard. Until we notice that every tree has been scarred, left unattended by the tenants that would sleep while other creatures entered. And now it's time to see the treatment rendered. At the feast, we see the preachers hindered. And now the people are deceased. Remember reading stories of Moses trying to bring the people through the desert with a heart and heart. Imagine how they made it hard. We get creative trying to play the part, and ever subtle trying to live the scriptures. You'll be surprised with niggas just for pictures. At every summit with their secret interests, the baddest garments and the biggest fringes. Phylacteries like cobblestones restrict the sight and vision. We the Ezras of the new age. See the correlation, the unfaithful was regenerated. We mix tapes till the shit breaks. Now we victims of preaching for views. Check the tool for the clickbaits and lengthy titles. We just trying to peruse who the Father would use within this generation. Will it be you?
Yogic.
Spend so much time getting this money, never realized them the faces of slave owners. Niggas a snake on you, he got shot in the face over slave owners. White people smile in my face, they the children of slave owners. They all fake, I hate them all, stole our history straight from us. Buying designer clothes from families traced back to slave owners. The Jewish man a bitch, they bought the land so we can't own it. They ain't get bought to slavery on no ships, like we ain't noticed. Deuteronomy 28, explain us leaving Cape Coast. Straight boast, they stole our name and our history straight from us. King James was black and Christ was too. Man, they straight bogus, but playing with the children's roulette while it's loaded. I pray your day is closer, like bang, blow your brains open. The goal is keep us slaves with the paper. Putting drugs in the streets to keep us chasing. Yeah, keep the men out the house while they children stay growing. Make it war with each other so division stay focused. Control the media to make them hate us. If we teach them hate theyself, they'll never make it. Yeah, discriminate them at the job and lock them up for selling drugs. If we keep on teaching hate, they will never learn to love.
They put demons all in our face, rose up idols all in our state, destroyed our mind with all of they talent, all and they piling on what they hate. Now we dying so they've raised to teach us lies with all that they say. That goes from schools to the media, designed to change the way you think and the way you pray, the words you speak and the money you pay for the things you get and the people don't know. So we marry their kids and we change our codes and the things don't grow when the kids get rich. Lose that money and the wife and kids and they start back over. This is a trap for a show, then they sell you music by the trap life. Seem like living in a trap life though. We don't get paid from the money they grow. We get pennies on the dollar, my bro. We get pennies on the dollar, my bro. Sometimes I really wanna holler at my bro. Tell them that we've been played on the low. We still slaves and they still own. We still slaves and they still own us.
The goal is keep us slaves with the paper.
Us.
Putting drugs in the streets to keep us chasing. Yeah, keep the men out the house while their children stay growing. Make it war with each other so division stay focused. Control the media to make them hate us. If we teach them hate theyself, they'll never make it. Yeah, discriminate them at the job and lock them up for selling drugs. If we keep on teaching hate, they will never learn to love.
Say hood. Say hood.
Spend so much.
Oh, dang, it's too big. It's too big. There it is.
Is that it?
I think that's it. Hey, if y'all can hear, I don't want Jonathan, drop a 7 in the chat. If y'all can hear both of us, drop 2 7s in the chat. Ooh-wee.
All right. What we sounded like?
All right. 2 7s.
All right, we must be good.
Hey,
You can hear me out?
Con, I can hear you. This is way too big, though, man. This is too much.
Nah, you know what, man?
So we're
gonna make Israel. We're gonna change it up a little bit. We gotta make Israel. Gotta keep them on their toes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he said it's too big.
I said, y'all you get all of this. I think they seeing my new growth right now.
Yeah, we want y'all brothers to tap in tonight. All right, tap in tonight. So real quick, right, as always, make sure you hit this link right here. Go up into this link. Send us an email if you're trying to get in contact. right? Civil exchange. We doing stuff for culture. We trying to revitalize a positive version of our culture, right? Urban Wealth Initiative. We trying to tap in with business owners. We trying to tap in with people that have knowledge and resources that they can give to the people and allow you to tap into that so that you can move your life further away from the curses, right? Because we want to live as far from the curses as we can, even though we know that we under the curses. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. So put a 7 in the chat if you're rocking with that. Reach out to the Urban Wealth Initiative. Reach out to Civil Exchange, right? Get some more information. Other things coming up, right? Other things coming up. So we got our new moon coming up for the 9th month. That's going to be at the beginning of December, right? So y'all should be tapping in with the brothers in your area. You should be linking up, doing something to commemorate and bring forth that new moon. All right. Then shortly after that, we're going to have, well, not really shortly after that, but after that, we're going to have the Feast of Dedication. Feast of Dedication is going to be on the 26th of December. So after y'all done finished unwrapping y'all Christmas presents, right, and stuffing y'all stockings, because we know y'all, some of y'all Israelites, y'all only Israelites on the internet, but y'all really be keeping Christmas. So when y'all done doing all that, please come through for the Feast of Dedication. It's going to be at the school, right? Some other things is going down as well the same week, most high willing. Hey, I ain't going to make no public announcement because I don't know if we doing that just yet, but beautiful things is going down, right? So real quick, before we get started, I want to let y'all know that you need to be studying for these classes before you come on the class, especially if you already know what the class is. So we getting ready to get back into the Torah portion, right? So y'all going to start knowing what the Torah portion is about every week. You're not going to have no excuse. Learn what the class is going to be about. Read the chapter before we get started so you can come with some good questions and we can build together. I don't know everything. The brother Boaz don't know everything. What we have to do is we have to study and research before the chapter gets started, right? Or before we teach the chapter so that we can bring it out to the people. But y'all have to read and research with us before the class gets started, right? That's the only way that this is going to be interesting and this is going to work. All right. So with no further ado, we're going to get right into it. Let's get started with Exodus chapter 31 from the top.
It's like, no. This is the book of Exodus. It's like this is the book of Exodus, chapter 31, and verse 1. It reads, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom and in understanding and in knowledge and in all manner of workmanship."
All right, I want to pause right there real quick. So this is cold because the Most High is saying that he filled this person with the spirit of understanding, wisdom, knowledge, and he gave this person the talents and abilities to build what he instructed Moses to build. Right now, on the surface level, we know what that means. He wanted this man to build a temple, so he gave him the resources, he gave him the cognitive abilities and the creative abilities to do so. But the same thing happens in your life, right? If the Most High called you to serve the poor, he gave you the resources to serve the poor. If the Most High called you to serve the Israelite community, he gave you the resources to serve the Israelite community, right? So let's get into it a little bit. Let me get Isaiah 28 and 26, because we got to drive this point. We got to drive this point all the way home.
Okay, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 26. "For this is Yahweh doth for his God doth instruct him to discretion and doth teach him."
Hey, give it to me in the If you can pull up the ESV on your phone. Because I want to read this in plain English.
Okay. I can do it on here. Super quick. And you said 28. Yep. 28.
Yeah, kind of.
28 and 26. Right?
Yep.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Dun, dun, dun. Bear with me for a second, Israel.
I probably should read it.
Okay.
No, you're good. I probably should just read it because I already got it up. So look at this. All right, Con.
You said ESV?
Yeah, ESV.
Con. So in the ESV English Standard Version, it says, "For he is rightly instructed, his God teaches him."
Okay, so he's rightly instructed, his God teaches him, right? So when we're reading about this brother Uri, and his name was actually, this brother Bezalel, and he was the son of Uri, right, of the tribe of Judah. The Most High instructed him because the Most High gave him the wisdom to skills that he wanted him to do, right? We can pull it off the screen now. Okay. So he gave him the wisdom to do what he wanted him to do. So why is this important? Why am I harping on this? Because all of us have skills, talents, and abilities that the Most High gave us, and he wants us to display those skills, talents, and abilities for the betterment of the kingdom, for the betterment of our congregation, for the betterment of each other, right? So it's not a skill that you're just good at. It's not something that you just happen to be good at. It's not by chance that you are good at whatever you're good at. It was by design. The Most High set that all up by design so that you could bring forth the best in the kingdom, right? Now, let's go back because we're going to finish reading the story, but I'm going to give you more precepts before we get into the story because I want to show you how that plays out throughout Scripture, right? So let's get Sirach 39:6 real quick. Sirach 39:6.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 39, and verse 6. It says, When the great Lord will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. He shall pour out wise sentences and give thanks unto the Lord in his prayer.
Okay, so this is talking about the man who meditates on the law, right? He's focused on the law. He's doing the things that the Most High wants him to do. And then when the Most High is ready to do so, he's going to pour out his spirit inside this man, right? Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 7, he shall direct his counsel in knowledge, and in his secrets shall he meditate.
Verse 8, this is the point.
He shall shew forth that which he hath learned, and shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Lord.
Okay, he's going to show forth that which he has learned, right? So the Most High didn't just give you that spirit for no reason. He wants you to show it forth. He wants you to show forth what you have learned, right? So when he fills you with that spirit, in order to do all these great things that you do, maybe you just work on cars. Maybe you do something simple like work on cars, right? But when he put that spirit on you, he wants you to grow to a point where you can show forth that which you have learned, right? It's too many people in Israel that's learning, and the scripture says never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. They are ever learning, but never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. The knowledge of the truth is the performance of the law, right? It's not only head knowledge, but it's actually showing that through your actions, you could perform what you're reading about. You could perform the things that the Most High put in your spirit, right? So with that being said, so the brother Bezalel is instructed to build the temple. What does he go on to do? he goes on to design and to carry out the plan that Moses had drew up according to the finger of God, right? Let's keep reading in Exodus chapter 31. Let's start at verse 4.
Verse 4. To devise cunning works, to work in gold and in silver and in brass, and in cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of timber, to work in all manner of workmanship. And I, behold, I have given with him Aholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, and in the hearts of all that are wise-hearted I have put wisdom, that they may make all that I have commanded thee. The tabernacle.
That he keeps saying the same thing. He keeps saying the same thing over and over. I have filled this person with the Spirit. I've filled that person with the Spirit and the skill and the workmanship, right? He keeps saying the same thing because this chapter is about being filled with the Spirit so that you could do what the Most High set you aside to do.
Okay.
Right? Let's stop real quick before we go further. I want to see what this precept is that Keziah put in the chat, right?
Okay.
Sirach 33:17. Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning. Right? That's a beautiful precept. Because the thing is this: if you're laboring for yourself only, you might be the type of brother that you study so that you can confound everybody, or you study so that you can be deeper than everybody. And that's great. That's wonderful. It's great that you're so deep, brother. But how is that going to help us? How is that going to help my people? That's what the Most High is thinking, right? So this is why pride is so dangerous. Pride will take something like studying the Bible and will turn it into a weapon that you use to make yourself look better than everybody else. Right? You'll take something noble like studying your scriptures, and then it becomes, I got to confound that brother Boaz. He ain't going to get one over on me. Watch this. You know what I'm saying? Now it's all about you. Now you're studying for yourself only. And that's what Sirach said that you should not be doing. Right? I got another point that I want to make, but I'm going to hold it. So let's keep reading.
Verse 7. The tabernacle of the congregation, and the ark of the testimony, and the mercy seat that is thereupon, and all the furniture of the tabernacle, and the table and his furniture, and the pure candlestick with all his furniture, and the altar of incense, and the altar of burnt offering with all his furniture, and the laver and his foot, and the clothes of service, and the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister in the priest's office, and the anointing oil and sweet incense for the holy place, according to all that I have commanded thee, shall they do. Okay,
so these are all the things that the Most High commanded Moses, that Moses is now commanding Bezalel. And Bezalel has to keep the order according to the exact instructions for everything inside the tabernacle. Now, this is how it's supposed to work. This is what you call a chain of command. You have one brother who is in charge of this, one brother who's right below him that carries this out. That brother who's carrying that out is making sure that this brother's instructions are followed and the Most High's instructions are followed. It's a smooth chain of command, and it's supposed to come straight down, right? What happens is people get prideful. Aharon taught this in his lesson on the Sabbath. If y'all tapped into that lesson, he was teaching toxic behavior and how certain people, they don't want nobody else to be in charge, right? They don't want to take no direction from nobody else. They don't want nobody else to be above them, right? This goes for children. This goes for brothers in the camp. This goes for sisters in the congregation. Anywhere you go on earth, you're gonna run into this problem, right?
Right.
Now, what if Bezalel would have been like, yo, I hear what you're saying, Moses, but I gotta put my spin on things, right? I gotta do it my way just a little bit. I understand what y'all are saying. I understand what you and the Most High are saying, but I gotta put my spin on things, right? What happens? Then the Most High's will doesn't come to pass, and the temple isn't designed exactly the way it's supposed to be designed. You don't see nowhere in this chapter that Moses is breaking down the spiritual meaning of none of this stuff. Bezalel may not understand the spiritual meaning of some of this stuff. Only thing he knows is what he's supposed to do, right? And so we have to have that same spirit. You're not going to understand everything the Most High doing, right? Which brings me to my next point. We have to be willing to serve the Most High when we don't understand what he's doing, right? I'm going to make a caveat real fast. The Most High might say to Jonah, I want you to go to Nineveh and teach these people over here to repent. Now, Jonah in his mind like, yo, these people, they wicked, bro. Why am I going to teach them to repent? I don't want them to repent. I want you to destroy them. But the Most High is sitting back like, yo, how am I going to have mercy on them if I'm going to destroy them right off the bat? I want you to go tell them to repent, right? And then we read the story of Jonah. Jonah didn't want to do it. I will say this. As Israelites, it's a lot of things that we've been taught. It's our responsibility to not have the spirit of Jonah. Don't have the spirit of Jonah. Have the spirit of Bezalel. Because Bezalel was like, yo, I don't understand everything that you want. He wasn't on the mountain with Moses for 40 days. Right? I'm pretty sure Moses did a great job in explaining everything that he wanted him to do. But some of the stuff Moses learned, Bezalel didn't learn. Right? But Bezalel got his marching orders and he carried it out. He didn't treat that like Jonah. He didn't run away from his assignment because he didn't understand it. Right? And so we have to remember that. So let's keep reading, because now he's going to go into the Sabbath. And then we're going to talk about those two concepts a little bit. Then we're going to do a really quick breakdown. Right? But go ahead.
Okay. Verse 13. Shlakia, verse 12. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily, my Sabbaths ye shall keep. For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Lord that doth sanctify you. Ye shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you. Every one that defileth it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people.
I want to ask y'all a question real quick. Why are we randomly talking about the Sabbath? Why? He was just giving Bezalel instructions on how to build the temple, right? And the other brother, Aholiab, Aholiab, he giving those two brothers instructions on what to put in the temple. You should use the spirit that I put within you to build this temple and do all these things. How did we get to the conversation of the Sabbath? It's because and this is my interpretation of this. It's because of the spiritual principle of the Sabbath. We naming off all the work that needs to be done, right? Go back up to Exodus 31 and verse 3 real quick. I'm going to show you something.
Okay. This book of Exodus chapter 31 and verse 3. And I have filled him with the spirit of Yahweh in wisdom and in understanding and in knowledge and in all manner of workmanship.
Now watch this. Let's look up the Hebrew word real quick for workmanship right there. I'm gonna show y'all something. How did we randomly get on the topic of the Sabbath? And I bring this up all the time on the Torah class. There's nothing random. When you look at these scribes and you look at the people who wrote this Bible, they were literally geniuses. They're weaving together thoughts and ideas all throughout the text. we don't read the Hebrew, generally speaking. And so we read past a lot of these things that they're putting in the text, right? So the brother just read Exodus 31:3, and it says, I fill him with the spirit of God and wisdom and in understanding and in knowledge and in all manner of workmanship. Now I'm going to show you something. What's that word? Workmanship. That word is Malachi. If y'all remember Exodus chapter 20, I think it's verse 4, right? When we start talking about the Sabbath, let me jump back to it real quick. No, not 4. It should be 14. No, it's further down. Hold on. 8. I'm sorry. So Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8 is about the Sabbath. Well, when we read that, it says that you shall do no manner of work. The Hebrew word there is Malachi. It's the same word that we see here in Exodus 31. So click on that word, 43.99. We're going to show you what we're talking about. And I didn't check this today. I just know that this is the same word, right? So go scroll to the right side. Now you see how it says Malachi and it says occupation and work. Now scroll to the right side of the page real quick. Let's see where it's used at. On the right side. Yeah, there you go. And then just keep going down till you see Exodus 20. All right, keep going, keep going. Notice that it's almost always work or business. Okay. You see that? Exodus 20. If we read Exodus 20 and 8 and verse 9, this is dealing with the Sabbath. I'm going to read it, right? It says, Salakia. All right, Exodus 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. So I want to make this clear. We can pull that down now. I want to make this clear. The work that Bezalel was doing in Exodus 31 is work that the Most High gave him the spirit to be able to do. And it's work that the Most High commanded him to do. But you know what the Most High don't want him to do? He don't want him to take that as an excuse to work on the Sabbath. Even though I gave you this spirit and I gave you this ability to do this thing, I don't want you to take that and say, oh, the Most High gave it to me, so I'm going to just keep doing that on the Sabbath. No, you have to enjoy your rest on the Sabbath. You still have to honor the Sabbath. So I believe the Most High was telling him, yo, build all this stuff, but on my Sabbath day, I want you to rest. Even though you're doing the work of the Lord, I want you to rest. Right? Now, I know some of us may be confused. So let's talk about it a little bit. What do y'all consider work? Let's put it in the chat. We're going to have a conversation. What do y'all consider work? Do you just consider that to be, signing in to Esau's job? Outside doing yard work? What do you consider to be work? Right? And I'm going to grab a precept right quick while y'all typing that up. Because this is cold. And I'm going to use an example that y'all might understand. The Most High gave me the ability to, I'm just going to make up something. The Most High gave me the ability to make music, right? And sometimes I'll actually write a song. Sometimes I'll actually write a song on the Sabbath, right? I don't necessarily consider that to be work in the way that I'm breaking the Sabbath, right? That's one example. I don't consider that to be work in breaking the Sabbath. Another brother might be skilled in working on cars, right? Most High gave him the talent and ability to be good with his hands. He didn't necessarily have to go to school, but he just good with that. And he helped brothers out all the time. He driving down the street on the Sabbath, getting ready to go back to the crib at the camp. Sun ain't went down yet. He see a brother stranded on the side of the road, right? Is he able to help that brother? Is he able to use his talent and ability and his skill that the Most High gave him to help that brother on the side of the road? What do y'all think? We're going to get into some judgment a little bit. And I'm going to read this while I'm waiting to see what y'all say. So I asked, what is work? And the brother said, labor that makes you sweat. That's one interpretation. That's one interpretation. In fact, if you go into the Mishnah, right, which is documents that the Jewish man reads, but some actual Israelites within the community also read those documents, right? But within what they call the oral tradition, they teach that any work that makes you sweat will be considered work, right? And in fact, the priests aren't even allowed to wear garments that make you sweat, right? And we can see that in, I believe it's Ezekiel, but the priests are not allowed to wear garments that make them sweat. So that's why they wear linen. All their clothes are made of linen, right? So that's one interpretation. Brother said anything laborious. Okay, let's define laborious. What does laborious mean? Okay, Keziah said anything that puts a burden on you. What is a burden? Do y'all see where I'm going? I'm making a point. I don't know if y'all walking with me just yet, but I'm making a point to say that defining work and defining what we can and cannot do on the Sabbath is not easy, right? It's not really easy. You was gonna say something, Mark?
Nah. I was saying,
okay. I'm gonna read this.
But Slacky, go ahead. I think there might
Say
be
again?
a little off. I think something might be a little off, like a little lag, but Slacky, go ahead, Adeline.
Yeah, Kai, it's definitely a little lag. So Leviticus 23 and 25 says, you shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, right? So he brought that precept to say that we can't do servile work. Now the question is, what is servile? And does this only refer to when you're serving somebody else? If you're serving yourself, is that off limits or is that permissible? Right? Okay, Yawasop said whatever you do for money. Okay, so what if I want to go to play basketball on the Sabbath? Can I do that? Can I lift weights on the Sabbath? Right? I'm not doing it for money. Or what if I just want to go outside and build my shed in the backyard? Right? Can I do that on the Sabbath? These are things that we need to sit down and discuss. And I think that over the ages, people have debated this, right? And we're going to get into it a little bit. Right? So if we can do good on the Sabbath, but what is good? What's the line between just doing what you want to do? Right? And then think about Bezalel is going to do good on the Sabbath. Bezalel is going to help build the temple and help build the holy things inside the tabernacle. But the Most High is telling him, he's reminding him in the middle of the chapter, don't forget my Sabbath. Right? So let's make this make sense real quick. Give me a quick second. I'm going to switch over because my computer being stupid. Give me a real quick second. Boaz, say something real fast.
What's going on? If he's not just like the brother Keziah said, just like the scripture that World Without End brought out, Adawan was commenting on as far as like helping somebody out on the Sabbath. You're doing well by helping your brother out on the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? If there's a situation like, let's say a brother was on his way to camp, you know what I'm saying, and caught a flat tire, right? Like, you know, if that brother needs help, you want to help that brother out. You know, that's something Christ also did during the Sabbath, right? He healed people on the Sabbath, right? And there's nothing wrong with doing well on the Sabbath, as long as it's not you doing it for your own, like the brother brought out, you doing it for money. You know what I'm saying? The comment section. It can be hard to have this conversation via comment. I mean, to try and like, I don't know, try and compact it the best way possible, you know, so you can make the point that you're trying to make. I don't know if that'll help at all, you know, but a brother could try. There's always been a question of mine. Can one hoop on that day for fun / exercise?
Hey, but let's talk about it. Right? Y'all can hear me again?
God.
Okay. So let's talk about that. That's what I want to deal with. Listen, I want you to focus on what I'm reading. Focus really closely. Why is the Most High randomly, and we know nothing happens randomly, and we also know of all people, the Most High is not doing nothing randomly, right? So randomly, the Most High in the middle of chapter 31, after telling Bezalel, first we start the chapter with, I gave him the spirit to do all this, right? Folk, walk with me. I gave him the spirit to do all this. Then he gave him the instructions on what to do. And then verse 12, but don't forget my Sabbath though. And the word that he uses in verse 3 for workmanship is the same exact Hebrew word that's used in Exodus 20 and 8 that says, when it says, you shall do no work therein, right? So I'm bringing all this up to say, the Most High wants us to separate his Sabbath day by all means possible, right? We should be dedicating that day to prayer, study, spending time with family, whatever we got to do, right? There's nothing wrong with doing well on the Sabbath, but you should set that day aside specifically for the Most High. It should not be a day to do your own thing. So me personally, I'm not going to tell you sinning if you go play basketball on the Sabbath. I'm not going to say that, but I will say I don't see how you set that aside for the Most High.
Right.
Right. Let's get Isaiah chapter 58. Right. We bring this out all the time. This ain't no new precept. Isaiah 58 and verse 13. And the context, and just to give you a heads up, the context of this chapter is, how do you keep a true fast? And then he switches over into, how do you truly keep the Sabbath? Right? So that's the context of this chapter. But go ahead.
God, it's the book of Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it.
So I think it's clear, and let's go back to Bezalel one more time to drive this point home. I believe that the Most High probably gave the spirit to Bezalel, but Bezalel probably enjoyed designing things and enjoyed working with gold and wood and different things like that. So when the Most High told Moses to grab Bezalel Bezalel was excited. He was like, yo, this is my shot. I get to, you know what I'm saying? I get to do all the things I love. If nobody would have stopped the brother Bezalel on the Sabbath, he would have still been building. I'm speaking as a man, but I need y'all to walk with me. You may absolutely love to work on cars. I'm gonna keep using a dumb example like this, but this is the only way I could think of it. You may absolutely love to work on cars. It may not even be a burden to you, right? It may not feel like you're doing no type of work. But I feel like on the Sabbath, you should stop. Because that day has to be different. What does the word set apart mean in the Hebrew? The word set apart means it's set apart, it's separate, it's no other thing like this day, right? And so I think even in the hustle and bustle of going to camp, right? Yes, we commanded to go teach. Yes, we commanded to, but a lot of us, the Sabbath is another day in the week. Y'all put the 7 in the chat if you ain't find yourself in that situation. The Sabbath should not be another day in the week. It should from sundown to sundown, the Sabbath should never feel like another day in the week. When that first sundown hit, you should be blowing your trumpet, right? You should be gathering your family together to say your prayers, bring the Sabbath in, right? Maybe watching a lesson, doing something, getting to the scriptures, Sabbath morning brew, whatever you got to do, but that day should be set apart. It should not be like all other days. And I think this is the point that the Most High is pointing out right here. Yo, I gave you the spirit to build this, and I'm commanding you to build it, and I want you to build it. But on my Sabbath day, I want you to relax. Right? Now, I'm bringing all this out to say this. I'm bringing this all out to say this. When we approach the Most High, we got to come with a certain spirit, right? I think once you done got into this truth and been in this way of life for a while, things can start to become a part of the routine, right? Coming to the Sabbath can be a part of the routine. Lord willing, community service can be a part of the routine. Getting on the calls can be a part of the routine. But we cannot take for granted the things that the Most High set forth for us, right? And one of those things he set forth for us was the Sabbath, right? I'm going to read some of these precepts the brothers put in the chat, and then we're going to have a discussion a little bit further. So this one is Matthew 12:11. And he said unto them, what man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep, and if it fall into the pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold of it and lift it out? Right? Verse 12. How much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore, it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days. So this is where our brothers and sisters in the scriptures was taking it the opposite way. A lot of the times, and let me get this scripture real quick. Let me get this scripture. A lot of the times what we do is we go the exact opposite. We take it either to one extreme, and then when we try to correct it, we go all the way to the other extreme. You ever seen somebody who's driving a car, and like if your kid learned to drive a car or something like that, or when you was a teenager, and you driving, and you start to drift this way a little bit, so you try to correct, but you overcorrect, and you yank the car all the way to the other side. That's what we be doing when we trying to keep the law, right? We'll try to keep the law. We'll be on the left side. We'll start drifting off. And then we'll yank it back all the way to the right side. Then we got to yank it back all the way to the left side. Now we got to find the middle. We got to find the middle ground. So with the Sabbath, some people feel like, nah, I can't do that. It's the Sabbath. But brother, you can help people on the Sabbath. But then at the same time, we find ourselves, we'll wake up, we'll be at camp all day. Then after that, we'll be doing something else all day. Then after that, we'll be doing this. Then now we waiting for the sun to go down so we can go out to eat on the Shabbat. We not even giving the Shabbat a chance for us to rest, right? So I'm not, once again, to be clear, I'm not making a case that we shouldn't go to camp. I'm making a case that we have to go the extra mile to learn how to have that rest and have that time to meditate and pray and just be with the Most High on the Shabbat, man. Right? Because it was important enough for him to remind Bezalel. Let me grab this scripture real fast. Right? Boaz, give me Ezekiel 22 and 26. Right? I'm going to get Ezekiel 22 and 26, and I'm going to get Zephaniah 3 and 4.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 22 and verse 26. Her priests have violated my law and have profaned mine holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane, neither have they shewed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths. And I am profaned among them.
You notice how in that precept right there, he's making a heavy emphasis on profaning the Sabbath, right? And he said that they profane the holy things. Because once again, sometimes we have good intentions, but we've lost the first idea of what we were supposed to be doing on the Sabbath. Like, I want y'all to put this in the chat. And I'm reading the chat at the same time. And I'm gonna definitely be bringing up y'all comments as well. Actually, Boaz, can you go through the chat real quick? Because I can't do it, man. My system all jacked up tonight.
Nah, it's all good. Let me see. All right, after that. So
I think y'all walking with us.
Israel pulled out Matthew 12 and 11.
Yep.
Let me go there.
We should have just read that.
Yes.
I thought that was the one we just read.
Was that the one you just read just now?
Yeah. Matthew 12 and 11 and 12. We already read that.
Okay. All right. Where would I end? Mark 3, 1 through 6.
I want to ask y'all this while he's looking for that, right? Before we pull up Mark 3.
All right.
How many of y'all can testify, right? And put the little hand emoji in the chat, the raise your hand emoji. How many of y'all can testify that on the Shabbat you might have woke up, right? Got straight to getting everything ready, went out the door, went to camp. By the time you came back, the sun was down. Right? And maybe you forgot to just say a prayer. Maybe you forgot to stop and meditate on some scriptures real quick before you come to camp so you can have the right spirit at camp. How many times have we done it? I know I've done it. I don't feel like it's that hard to do because we be in such a mood of, yo, I got to get up. Oh, snap, I'm about to be late. I got to do this. I got to do that. And we kind of forget that we're supposed to be resting. And I'm not saying resting as in don't go to camp. I'm saying resting as in be still and know that I am the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to stop and slow down and get your peace so that you can pray to the Most High, meditate on his commandments before you come out there and come out there with the right spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get that Mark 3 and 1 real quick.
Okay. This is the book of Mark, chapter 3, and verse 1. And he entered again into the synagogue, and there was a man there which had a withered hand. And they watched him whether he would heal him on the Sabbath day, that they might accuse him. And he saith unto the man which had the withered hand, stand forth. And he saith unto them, is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath days, or to do evil, to save life or to kill. But they held their peace. And when he had looked when he had looked round about on them with anger, being grieved for the hardness of their hearts, he saith unto the man, stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it out, and his hand was restored whole as the other. And the Pharisees went forth and straightway took counsel with the Herodians against him, how they might destroy him.
Hey, so look, this is what they and jump in there if you got something to say. But this is what they was doing to Hamashiach Yahushua. They was just sitting around waiting so they could find him doing something wrong. Right? Now, we're not saying have that spirit at all. What I'm trying to point out is that even when you doing stuff that you love to do and you feel like this does not qualify as servile work, the Most High still wants you to remember that the Sabbath day is separate from the rest of the days. I think sometimes we look at the Sabbath like it's only one commandment. On the seventh day you shall rest. But we don't look at the fact that we're not supposed to do our pleasure. We're not supposed to speak our own words. What does that mean, not to speak your own words? Does that mean you can't have a human conversation on the Sabbath? Of course not. But what it means is his words should be at the top of your mind on the Shabbat. Right? We're going to get some more. We're going to keep running through y'all comments real quick. And then we're going to jump back into it.
Okay.
Let's go back to one of, before we get that Ezekiel 22, right? Because that's the one we read earlier. Or before we get that Mark 2 and 27. Because that's an excellent one. Before we get that one, I want to ask this question. So let's go back to the concept of playing basketball on the Shabbat. Right? I've debated this amongst myself. What is a way that I could justify playing basketball on the Shabbat? Or going to the gym? And I'm not trying to be over righteous. I'm asking a serious question. Right? Give me go ahead and get that Mark 2 and 27 real quick.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 2 and verse 27. And he saith unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath.
Now, I love that we pulled this verse. The normal interpretation of this verse is the Sabbath was made for me so that I can enjoy it. I was not made for the Sabbath so that I would have to be a slave to the Sabbath. Right? Am I correct in saying that? That's the normal way we interpret that is the Sabbath was made for man, so I'm supposed to be able to enjoy my Sabbath, enjoy my rest the way I want to. But this brother over here might feel like, yo, I can watch The Exorcist on the Sabbath. I like the movie The Exorcist. I'm gonna just sit back and watch The Exorcist. I'm gonna watch Rosemary's Baby. Some people like scary movies. I can't enjoy. That's my favorite movie. I can't sit back and enjoy my favorite movie on the Shabbat. It's only The Exorcist. Right? I'm gonna show you something. What if when it said the Sabbath was made for man? What if the Sabbath being made for man is the Sabbath was made to benefit you? Not the Sabbath was made for man, you could do whatever you want. The Sabbath was made for man, you should obey it because it benefits you. Let me show you why I say that. Go back to Isaiah 58.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, because I'm like, wait a minute.
Go back to Isaiah 58.
You tripping watching The Exorcist,
Hey,
period.
hey,
I'm sorry.
hey, I wouldn't watch that on Thursday.
Listen, man. I ain't messing with none of that. You can keep your Insidiouses, your Conjurings, your Exoduses. If it
Right.
ain't the book of Exodus,
Yeah, straight
I
up.
don't want to hear X nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear no exorcists. Like I said, exorcists, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm good.
This brother crazy.
58 and 12.
Okay.
Is it 58 and 12?
13.
Time. This book of Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath day, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father. For the mouth of the Lord have spoken it.
And verse 14 is how the Sabbath benefits you. It says, after you do the Sabbath the way that you truly supposed to do it, then you will delight yourself in the Lord. The whole purpose of the Sabbath is for you to stop doing and delight yourself in the Lord, so that he can cause you to ride upon the high places of the earth and feed you with the heritage of Jacob. We know what the heritage of Jacob is. It's the law. So while you delighting yourself in the Lord, you meditating on your precepts, you praying, you doing whatever you. I was about to say fasting, but some brothers say you can't fast on the Sabbath. I disagree with that. Right? How did Moses fast for 40 days and 40? How did Christ fast for 40 days and 40 nights if you can't fast on the Sabbath? Right? But I'm not saying that to make a doctrine. I'm saying that to say the point of the Sabbath is to seek the Lord. That's the point. And if you're seeking the Lord and by chance your brother needs help, by all means, please help. Right? Salakia. By all means, please help. Right? Because it's good to do well on the Sabbath. But I would not say that you should dedicate your whole Sabbath. Yo, I'm leaving the house today. I'm going to find as many people as I can find and I'm going to get them. No. Spend time with the Most High. You could have did that yesterday. It was nothing wrong with you doing that yesterday. Right? And so I say all this to say that Bezalel, and I need y'all to go back and look at Exodus, and we're going to keep going through y'all comments. But Bezalel, bro, was doing something that the Most High put in his spirit. And he was doing something that he was commanded directly from Moses and directly from the Most High, and it was going to benefit the tabernacle. If anything, most brothers would think, yo, I'm going to work all day and all night on this. The Most High himself want me to build a temple? Please, I'm never stopping. Right. But in the middle of the chapter, the Most High said, don't forget my Sabbath. Right after he gave all those commandments. So just because you passionate about something and you love it, just because you love doing something, and just because it also aligns with the Most High, do not forget to stop and set the Sabbath apart. Right? Let's look at some of these comments, man.
Oh man, this brother right here, I don't know what's wrong with him. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Shaquan, we know you. We know you wicked. We ain't worried about it.
Like I Salakia, I require Adawan Yawasop to go out to California with the buckets of holy water and rebuke this man.
Just straight up. What's that? Peter Popoff? Call Peter Popoff and throw some of that water on him.
Something, man.
Holy water, Peter Popoff be selling.
You know.
Right? Hey, let's switch up. Let's switch up real quick. Boom, boom, boom. let me pull back up my StreamYard. Right, distract the people real quick, man. You know, I got to get this thing together, bro. I don't know what's going on here today.
Hey man, if y'all enjoying class, if y'all enjoying the class, drop a 7 in the chat. If you got any precepts, drop some precepts in the chat, man. Drop a precept in the chat that you that you thought about today, with whatever that you may have been dealing with, whether it was enduring something or whether it was something that came over you like a blessing or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And it made you think about a scripture in the Bible. Drop something in the chat. I want to see where y'all at. I want to check the temperature of the chat right now.
And while y'all doing that, we're gonna do a real quick. We're gonna do a quick segment, real quick, of quick scripts. All right. So give me a quick second while I set that up. We're gonna get into a real quick breakdown. We're gonna fly through some precepts, right? We're gonna see how fast Boaz is on the sword, all of that. All right.
Oh man, Shaquat did Hebrews 10, 1 through 8. Jeez Louise.
Hold on, let's come back to it. Let's get that precept in a second. Hold on.
God, let's go, Barzia.
All right, so look, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 63 and verse 1. And it reads, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save." Hey, give me Revelation 19 and 3. Real quick.
Say Revelation 19 and 3.
19 and 13, Salakia.
Salakia. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 13. "And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh."
Okay, so whoever it was that their vesture was dipped in blood must be the same person that is coming from Edom with dyed garments. Now, why is the Bible saying that this person is coming from Edom, right? Because Edom is the chief enemy in the last days. And we know that the word of God, who is Yahushua, as identified in Revelation 19 and 13, Yahushua is going to wage war against the Edomites in the last days, right? So what we're seeing is Revelation lining up with the book of Isaiah chapter 63. This is 63 and verse 2. "Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat?" Right? You ever seen the commercial where the people be walking through the grape field with them big old boots on? That's what they used to be doing. They used to be treading through the grapes and smashing them in the wine press in order to make the blood of the grape, right? In order to make wine in certain situations. Give me Revelation 19 and 15.
Con, it's the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 15. "And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the Salakia, of the fierceness, of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Yahweh."
Hey, you see that? So he's treading the winepress of the fierceness of the Most High, right? So Hamashiach Yahushua is not only symbolically treading grapes because he got blood on his garments, but he's treading the wine, or he's stepping on the grapes and treading the wine press of the Most High. He's creating wine out of the blood that he's getting from these heathens, right? You have to be able to understand that in these scriptures, Yahushua is painted as a figure who he came the first time and he was quiet. He didn't really deal with the other nations, right? He only dealt with the children of Israel. He was leading them back into covenant. But when he comes back, he's going to come back as the ruling Messiah that we'll be reading about in the Old Testament, right? This is Isaiah 63 and verse 3. "I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled on my garments, and I shall stain my raiment. Let's get Micah 7 and 10.
Wow.
Right? We can really run the precepts on this.
With the book of Micah, chapter 7 and verse 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets.
Hey, you see that? So it's going to come a time when these other nations are going to be trodden down, and it's going to be the same people that was taunting you, saying, yo, where's your God at now? It's going to be those same people. The same thing we read in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, when it says that they're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's keep going. I got 2 more verses. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore, my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I would tread down people in my anger and make them drunk in my fury. Remember, we just read the precept on how the fury or the fierceness of the Most High can make somebody drunk, because Yahushua is symbolically stepping in the winepress of the fury of the Most High God, right? So that same wine that comes from that is making the people drunk. And this is all at the will of the Most High. He's pissed off, right? So he's pouring out plagues. He's pouring out destruction on these people. And those plagues and that destruction is going to ultimately be their downfall, right? And I will tread down the people in my anger and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. All right, let's get Isaiah 34 and verse 2.
All right. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and verse 2. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter.
You see that? The Most High has delivered them to the slaughter, man. So all praise to the Most High. Hey, we look forward to that. But ultimately, we know that every knee shall bow, right? We know that every knee shall bow to the Most High. You have people like Rahab, you have people like Ruth, who we teach are not Israelites, right? But they were able to peaceably dwell amongst the Israelites because the Most High allowed them to, right? Let's get a precept on that real quick. This is going to be the book of Joshua. I don't have this precept loaded up, so if you find it before me, just grab it. I'm looking for Rahab real quick. I know where it's at, but I gotta grab it. All right, so it's gonna be Joshua chapter 2, right? Let's start at verse 1.
It's the book of Joshua chapter 2 and verse 1. And Joshua the son of Nun sent him of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, go view the land, even Jericho. And they went and came into an harlot's house named Rahab, and lodged there.
Now, real quick, so this is a harlot. So number one, she would have been unclean to them because she was of another nation. But then on top of that, she a harlot. This might be the reason why she was so open to letting them in the house. You just never know. But she was a harlot and just let some strange brothers from another nation come up into your crib.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Keep going.
And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country.
Go ahead.
And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are enter into thine house, for they be come to search out all the country.
Verse 4.
And the woman took the 2 men and hid them, and said thus, there came men unto me, but I wist not whence they were.
All right, let's stop right there. So she hid them. She allowed them to hide and find refuge in her house, even though the king knew that they was there and he came searching for them. She didn't have to hide them. She could have just gave them up right there and been like, yo, y'all finished for it now. I'm not going down because y'all want to come into this land and spy this land. I'm not going down for y'all. I don't even know y'all. But something in her spirit said, I'm gonna help these brothers out. Right? Now jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12. Now therefore I pray you, swear
Hold
unto
on, my fault. Before we gotta walk this slow. So now that Rahab has allowed them to come in, let's backstep real quick. How many people in Israel today, how would you have judged this situation? You got two brothers that's hiding out from the authorities, and a woman of another nation helps them out. Would you reward that woman from the other nation? Let's see what y'all say in the chat. Would y'all reward the woman from the other nation? Or would you just be like, she a heathen, so, the Most High will came to pass, all praises, but to hell with her now. We out of here. Right? I want to know. How would we judge that situation today? Hey, this brother crazy, Barzaya.
Right.
That brother crazy. But seriously, I want to know, how would we judge that situation today? All right. Let's jump down to verse 12. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Now therefore I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have shewed you kindness, that ye will also shew kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token.
Go ahead.
And that ye will save alive my father, and my mother, and my brethren, and my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death.
Go ahead.
And the men answered her, our life for yours, if ye utter not this our business. And it shall be, when the Lord have given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee.
Right. Now this goes back to Genesis 12 and verse 3. Right? This goes back to Genesis 12 and verse 3. And it says, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Right? We say this all the time. We bring this out all the time because Christians will try to use this and say, God will accept whoever comes to him. Right? And of course, we can make that argument all day. The problem is that the other nations are prophesied never to come to God, right? They're going to have to be broken with a rod of iron. We understand that. But as you read through these scriptures, you're going to see time and time again, when the Most High is rocking with his people, he really rocking with his people. And the people around his people, their heart is softened towards the children of Israel, right? This is an example of that. This is an example of the Most High softening somebody's spirit so that his will could come to pass for his people, right? So when they saw that she did that, they rewarded her, right? Now, I'm only saying all this to say this. We have to be careful with the mind state of this person's a heathen. They can never do nothing for me. Because I'm going to tell you something. Solomon didn't move like that. Let's get another example. Let's go to 1 Kings. Let's go to 1 Kings. And I'm going to tell you something. We got scriptures that says, and I'm going to pull that up while you get in 1 Kings. Right? We gotta prove everything with scripture. All right. 1 Kings. Let me see where I want to go. All right, give me a quick second here, Salakia. All right, it's 1 Kings chapter 5.
Start at 1.
Yeah.
All right, this is the book of 1 Kings chapter 5 and verse 1. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his servants unto Solomon.
Who is that?
Hiram.
Yep, Hiram, king of Tyre. And watch this. He's from another nation, correct?
Okay.
All right, jump up to the previous chapter, verse 29.
Okay. This book of 1 Kings chapter 4, verse 29. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding, exceeding much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore.
Okay, so the Most High gave Solomon more wisdom and understanding than that of the seashore, right? So basically, he had an unlimited amount of wisdom and understanding. Like no other man had this much wisdom and understanding, right? We know, and we know about that, right? Read verse 30 as well.
Verse 30. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the east country and all the wisdom of Egypt.
Go ahead.
For he was wiser than all men, than Ethan and Ezra.
Ethan the Ezraite.
It's like it. Then Ethan the Ezraite and Heman the Calco and Darda the sons of Mahol, and his fame was in all nations round about.
Okay, now take that thought. We're gonna weave this lesson together. Y'all gonna understand where we're going with this. Just walk with me. It seems like we all over the place, but we not. Just walk with me. So Solomon is given the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. His wisdom, knowledge, and understanding exceeds all other men on the face of the earth. And people come from far and wide just to learn from Solomon, right? Now jump down to verse chapter 5 one more time, verse 1.
This is the book of chapter 5, verse 1. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his servants unto Solomon, for he had heard that they had anointed him king in the room of his father. For Hiram was ever a lover of David.
Hold on. So this guy actually liked David. He was from the nation of Tyre, and he was cool with David. Okay, that's weird. Keep going.
Okay. And Solomon sent to Hiram, saying, Thou knowest how that David my father could not build an house unto the name of the Lord his God, for the wars which were about him on every side, until the Lord put them under the soles of his feet. But now the Lord my God have given me rest on every side, so that there is neither adversary nor evil occurring.
Now, I want to point this out real quick. Solomon's the wisest man, and yet and still he's going to another nation and telling him, yo, I got peace in my kingdom. I don't even have no enemies. Kind of weird, right? Very weird conversation. It gets weirder, right? Watch this.
All right. Verse 5. And behold, I propose to build an house unto the name of the Lord my God, as the Lord spake unto David my father, saying, Thy son, whom I will set upon thy throne in thy room, he shall build an house unto my name. Now therefore command thou that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon, and my servants shall be with thy servants, and unto thee will I give hire for thy servants according to all that thou shalt appoint. For thou knowest that there is not among us any that can skill to hew timber like unto the Sidonians.
Okay, let's make that make sense. Solomon being the wisest man anywhere on the earth, he knows that he got to go outside his kingdom to get a certain level of service in this particular area of craftsmanship. I gotta leave my king. I gotta go to this guy over here who's from another kingdom and say, hey, only you can do this the right way. So number one, it takes wisdom to know when somebody else is better prepared to do something than you. Right? That's number one. But number two, if we're gonna use the theology in the mindset, and I gotta say this slow because I gotta think about what I'm saying. If we're going to use the theology and the mindset, and right, that's a good word, discernment. If we're going to use the discernment based off the scriptures that we read and say, I can't mess with nobody outside of Israel because nobody outside of Israel is my people, and therefore they can't help me in no arena. If I'm going to use that type of theology, then Solomon could not have been the wisest man ever. Solomon is the wisest man ever and looked out into another nation and said, you have to be the one to bring me the wood for the temple of all places. Now, how does this connect to what we was talking about earlier? The Most High is the one who gives people the spirit to do the job that needs to be done. That's what we read about Bezalel earlier. The Most High gave Bezalel the spirit to do what needed to be done. Right here, Solomon recognizes that Hiram, the king of Tyre, is the one who has the spirit to do what needs to be done. In the book of Joshua, Rahab, her spirit, her heart was softened for whatever reason, and she had the ability and the spirit to do what needed to be done. There may be times when the other nations do things like this. It does not change what we teach at all. It only changes that sometimes we are so busy trying to destroy the other nations, trying to kill the other, trying to get rid of everything that they do, trying to bash everything that they do, that sometimes the things that they doing is benefiting us. In fact, give me Romans chapter 8 and 28. I would make an even stronger argument. There's nothing they can do that don't benefit us. Right? Let's get Romans 8 and 28, man.
It's the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh, to them who are the called according to his purpose.
So this is not because the other nations love us. This is because the Most High is putting the spirit in these people to do what needs to be done, bro. So if you going out of your way, oh man, I hate these other, oh man, to hell with these other, that's cool, but recognize that their sacrifices and some of the moves that they make it is literally setting the stage for this chessboard that the Most High setting up. Right? Rahab did what she did, and we got into the promised land. Right? Fast forward, Hiram did what he did, and we ended up with a temple. Cyrus did what he did, and we ended up coming back and rebuilding the temple. Right? We don't talk about this, but Herod rebuilt the temple. Herod renovated the temple, the second temple, made it bigger. Right? We may not agree with everything he did because he also put a Roman bird on the damn temple too with his wicked self. But a lot of the things they do is working in accordance with the Most High's will. Right? Watch this. This is the book of 2 Corinthians 13 and 8. And this goes for everybody. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Nobody can do nothing against us that's going to hurt us except for us. Right? Only the Most High can choose if the other nations can touch us, bro. Only the Most High can choose that. So I'm saying all that to say this. The Most High put the spirit in men to do the things that they do. Ultimately, when we in the kingdom, the other nations are going to build our walls. Right? That's Isaiah chapter 60. And guess what? We may hesitate to say this, but I'm not going to hesitate to say it. the Most High gonna put the spirit in them to do a good job. You think he gonna have them half building a wall? No. Let's read it. Isaiah 60. Right? We're gonna make this point, and this all connects once again to what Bezalel was doing, but the Most High put the spirit in whoever he put the spirit in order to get his purpose done. And that spirit causes some men to repent if they be Israelites. And that spirit may cause other men to send the children of Israel back to their homeland to build the second temple, like Cyrus. Right? Go ahead.
Khan, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 60 and verse 10.
Khan.
Khan. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
Go ahead.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
And we could keep going, but the point ultimately is that when they come and they're building the walls, and when they bring their kings, those people are going to use, when it says bring the riches of the Gentiles, their advancements in technology, right? Whatever they got, we taking control of all of that. We're not about to sit back here. Oh man, the damn white man created the internet, brother. We getting rid of the internet, bro.
One better.
It's like, bro, we're gonna have to recreate something like it then. Why not just take it over in righteousness? That don't even make sense. Solomon was not moving like that. Solomon was like, yo, you the best man to bring the wood. Pause.
Hold up.
You the best man for that job. So guess what? Come on in. That's what he was saying, bro. And it's like double pause. But that's what he was saying.
He's skilled at the craftsmanship when it comes to creating what he needed to be made.
Correct.
That's
right. He's skilled in that area. Hey, bring up world without end, last precept. James 1 and 4.
This the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 4 says, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing.
You see that? We have to be patient and understand that the Most High is moving chess pieces. That's all that's happening.
Mm.
Some of these heathens are 100% ardently against you. All of them are your enemies. But some of them have a spirit on them that they do not control, and the Most High using them to benefit you. Look, my rib showed me a video earlier today. Damn Donald Trump up here talking about, yo, when I get in office, first thing I'm doing is reversing all this transgender stuff. Right? I'm defunding anything that's talking about child mutilation and letting people change their gender. I'm changing all that. Right? The Most High put that spirit on him, man. He ain't just come up with that. The Most High put that spirit on him to undo that, because that's crazy. Why y'all trying to do that? And he may not even be successful, but there are people that the Most High puts his spirit on. Think about Pharaoh. Ultimately, Pharaoh let the people go. He ain't want to. The Most High did all that to prove a point, and then ultimately, the Pharaoh let the people go. Then the Most High hardened his heart again. Then he came after the children of Israel, and the Most High killed all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think about it, bro. Like, while we sitting back mad and angry and upset at these heathens, they have no power. They have no control of this. The Most High is in control of the chessboard. The only thing you need to do is focus on doing what he gave with the talents and abilities he gave you to the best of your ability so that you could be in the right place at the right time. That's it. Right? I'm gonna give you this last precept, and we're gonna get up off of here. I want y'all to meditate on this. Give me Luke 16:9. I want y'all to meditate on this, bro. Think about what this means. I'm not teaching you. I have to be 100% clear because Israel's stupid. Israel will take this video and say, this brother telling you to be friends with other nations. No, they're your enemies. We all know that.
Hey, I was about to say, I just seen. Never mind.
Right? They're your enemies. We all know that. This is what I'm teaching. Luke 16 and verse 9.
Oh, that's, I was about to say, I just scrolled up to it. It's Salakia. God, this is the book of Luke, chapter 16 and verse 9. And I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when ye fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitations.
Yo, I wrestled with this for a long time. What does this mean? You know what this means? This is what Joshua and the spies did when Rahab allowed them to come into her house. They made friends with the people that you're not supposed to be friends with, and she actually received them into everlasting habitations symbolically. She received them into a place where they couldn't be destroyed, and for that, they threw her some crumbs. Yo, y'all come, you and your family come over here, man. We got you. Don't worry about it. You ain't gonna get the kingdom. Nobody said you're gonna get an everlasting covenant. Nobody said none of that. But you can come in and we'll keep you safe because you hooked us up. Right? We got to use knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. If it was good enough for Solomon, it should be good enough for us, man. And this is not when Solomon fell. We can't sit back and say, well, Solomon went into idolatry. We can't say that. Because that story happened immediately after the Most High pronounced how wise he was.
Mm-hmm.
His downfall isn't until chapters later.
Right.
So I need y'all to meditate on that. We cannot be so stuck in destroying these heathens so much that we lose the benefits that the Most High is giving us through them in certain cases.
Right.
All right. So all praise to the Most High, man. Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
I think you know what I'm saying, you killed it, you know what I'm saying. All praise be to the Most High for bringing out that, because I mean that's something that's vital that we need to hear, because when we come into this truth for real, you know, the first thing that we really get is that these other nations in against us, they done all of this stuff towards you. The Most High don't like them. The Most High hate Esau for his perpetual hatred. You know what I'm saying? We operate in this certain type of spirit where it's like that spirit can be overwhelming and it start taking over us, where it's like we start moving in a certain kind of way where when certain things come that are of the Most High through the other nations that might be a blessing for us, we can't even acknowledge it or see it because of, you know what I'm saying, the malice and the hatred that we done built up towards them. Right. So now when we supposed to be getting blessed, we can't even get blessed because we can't even acknowledge the blessing that the Most High is bringing to us through the other nations.
Through the other nations, exactly. Hey, I'm gonna say this, and then we definitely gonna end this class because I don't want no trouble. I'm gonna say this because I don't want no trouble. Some of y'all, some of y'all, when the other nations come to give you something that actually benefits you, some of y'all gonna send them up the block, and the Most High gonna be sitting back like, that was from me. I put it on his spirit to come give it to you, but I guess you don't want it.
It's like it ain't that like the situation with the guy in the ocean in the boats?
Exactly. Exactly. The man was praying. The man was in the boat, and the boat was sinking. And he started praying to the Most High, and he was like, "Oh man, get me up out of this. I'll do anything." So then a boat come, and he like, "Man, I ain't getting on that boat, man. The Most High gonna find a way." The helicopter come, man, I ain't getting on that helicopter. The Most High gonna find a way. So then the man die. He go to heaven, and the Most High like, "I sent you the boat and the helicopter." You know? Like, that's what it be, bro.
Hey,
that's what it be. So all praise to the Most High, man. I just want y'all to monitor that. Hey, World Without End was on fire with the precepts, man. Shout out to him. He says, Sirach 3:31, he that requireth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter. And when he falleth, he shall find a stay. Hey, all praise to the Most High. That's the perfect precept to end that up. Let's get that Daniel 7:18 and close out.
Time is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushai.
Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. Hey, we love y'all, boys. You got to close the show out. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Continue to be zealous, man, for good works. We're going to have more things coming up. We might have another community service event around dedication, right? Y'all be tapped in for the information on that. We'll make sure to get that out to you. See you next time. Shalom.
Shalom.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black music, black music, black music, black music.